All right, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about one of my favorite bodybuilders in the 90s, Mike Matarazzo. Mike was a very popular bodybuilder back in the 90s. Didn't win any contests per se, or a lot of contests, but he was always around, always on covers of magazines, always had articles in magazines because of his personality and because of his freaky physique. And a few body parts that were very freaky, most notably arms, some of the biggest biceps around, and his calves. His calves were insane. Some of the best calves in the history of the sport. Definitely belonged to Mike Matarazzo. Now, Mike, like I said, didn't win a lot of contests. However, he did compete in a ton of contests, just like the 90s bodybuilders did. I mean, we're talking 97. He competed in 7 contests alone. He was active in the pros from 91 all the way up to 2001, for 10 years. Never really, I guess one of his best placings, second maybe at the Canada Cup. But he was always around, always competing, and he made a decent living from bodybuilding doing that. Um, Mike, though, was another horror story, another tragedy, bodybuilding tragedy. Mike died 2014 at just 48 years old from heart failure while waiting for a heart transplant. Uh, so yeah, it was a bad deal. Just really another guy, that suffered, paid his dues, the ultimate cost, the ultimate price to be a bodybuilder, and that was his life. I'll read a little article from an article here. Mike did an interview before he died. The guy ate 5, 6, 7 pounds of red meat a day. A day. Never ate vegetables. Never had fruits. Uh, and of course, he talks about the chemicals. Being alone in a hotel room 5 or 2 days for a contest and doing unspeakable things to his body. Uh, the sauce, growth hormones, diuretics, anything and everything that we bodybuilders do to achieve a certain look. So that no doubt played a role in his untimely death. There it talks a little bit about his, supposed cycle. I don't know if this is true or not, but yeah, a lot of tests, uh, D-ball, anadrol. I'd be shocked if that's his complete cycle, though I highly doubt he was just on that. But again, that's a lot of orals per day. I mean that's 100 milligrams of D-ball a day. That's a lot of D-ball. Um, but like I said, he paid the ultimate price. He died. Here's a shot of him. This is a great pic. You can see his freaky calves in that pic. Um, Before his death, Mike was living in. He had to retire from bodybuilding due to his heart surgery. He was a bondsman, bail bondsman, uh, but he was forced to quit because he was physical activity only had 20% heart function, something like that. That's insane. That's crazy. So, but yeah, he died 2014, Stanford University, ICU, waiting for a heart transplant. Like I said, Mike was a very popular guy. So many of these 90s guys would kick the bucket, unfortunately. Sad deal. 5'10", 275 in the off season, 250 competing. So not a mass monster by today's standards, but back in the day, 90s, that was considered pretty large. So he was a character. I always like to read his articles. He was pretty outspoken. Like I said, another guy that dies young from bodybuilding. But a lot of it was probably genetics as well. I believe his father died at a young age from heart problems as well. So, again, massive arms. Probably, maybe, arguably, the best calves in history as possible. But, to die at 48 is a sad deal. But it is what it is. Just thought I'd do a quick little video on Mike Matarazzo.